We got a show to do. And here we go. I'll count it in 3, 2, 1.
This maneuver brings to mind that old Chinese proverb. They have
it in you to make it epic.
The morning stream. Don't eat that. It's Pluto.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to TMS. It's the morning stream for Tuesday, May 28th, 2024. I'm Scott Johnson, and Brian Ibbett is here as well.
Hello, welcome to our new week that we ordered specially for you. We got a discount, so we only get 4 of the 5 days.
That's right. Free shipping, though. Free shipping. So
yes.
Enjoy the free shipping while it lasts. And
that's right.
If you don't want commercials, pay us an extra $2 a month. Actually, that's true. If you never want ads, it's a great way to do it is support our Patreon. Yeah, Patreon.com/TMS. We don't usually mention this at the top of the show, but I'll just say it again. Patreon.com/TMS. Although, if you're listening at home, you did hear it twice because we do a top of the show thing at the end.
Yeah.
Right. So now we're pounding it down your throat. Anyway, hey.
Whatever.
Brian, I got to tell you a story. Been holding on to this since I saw Furiosa over the weekend.
Excellent. I can't wait. And you and I listened to your diary episode. You enjoyed it. You enjoyed it tremendously. And I like your way of kind of creating it like a Infinity War Endgame thing. It is one movie. It
really is. And you don't think of it that way until you see this and see the way they structure the Furiosa story in this kind of Homer-esque sort of Odyssey kind of way.
Dovetail it, yeah.
And then they have this bit where you're like, oh, Fury Road is the final act of this thing. Mm-hmm. And it's beautiful. I freaking loved every second of it. Now, here's the thing. Yeah. I said this on the Monday show last night as well. I'm going to try really hard not to be that guy and be annoying. All right? Because
You also said this on Diary, too. So,
yeah.
So you've got 2 places you've promised this.
Yeah, now I'm promising it a third time. I'm going to try not to be that guy where last time when Fury Road happened, I wouldn't shut up. Yeah. And it became a meme, and to the point that everybody here knows that every time it comes up, it's like, reset the counter, all that stuff. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to try not to be that guy with Furiosa. It'll come up here and there, but I'm not going to annoy you people, all right? I'm going to keep a lot of my joy to myself. It's fine.
I don't want you to restrict your joy. I mean, if you love something, set it free. No, that's a different thing. If you love something, talk about it. And
I just don't want to annoy anyone. I don't want people to be like, oh, there's Scott again.
As one of those people who kind of rolled their eyes every time Fury Road came up. While I applaud that, I also don't. I feel like it's you, and that.
You don't want to restrict freedoms, right? That's not you. That's not Brian.
Talk about Furiosa. I'll do my Trump impersonation. We'll just piss them off together.
Yeah, let's make everybody mad all at the same time. I like that.
I love the Furiosa. All right, as they call it.
Anyway, so I go to this thing, and I had a great time, and I loved it. And if you want to hear more, I did, like Brian said, I did a whole diary thing where I kind of broke it down. That was still in the afterglow of it, so I don't know if I made a lot of sense, but I really, 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 really liked it. Here's the thing, though. The thing ends. And I drank a lot of soda, a lot of Coke Zero during this movie. And by the time it ended, and I was very focused, I had forgotten all time and space. Yeah. And when it ended, 2 things hit me. One, oh, shoot. I was supposed to do core at 6, and it's now 6:15. We should get home. How long
was that? Was that 2.5 hours?
It's like 2.5 hours, but with credits and everything, I underestimated. Or not credits. Previews and stuff.
Previews, yeah. And you stuck around for the after credits.
There's no after credits scene, is there?
There is. Oh my God.
Are you kidding me? You're kidding me.
I'm not kidding.
I mean, I stuck around for the credits. The credits.
There is a stinger.
Shit. Is that true?
It is. Yeah, I'll tell you offline what it is, because it's only a couple seconds long, but it's
okay, because I saw the credits were great, because the credits were like, hey, yo, Fury Road, yo.
Interspersing Fury Road, yeah.
Yeah, and I loved that, but I thought that was it, because when they started rolling properly, and Carter even looked at me and says, do you think there's like a MCU post-credits? I'm like, no, they wouldn't do that, and we left.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Well, you're seeing it again this week with a friend, right?
We are trying to. Yeah. So if that works out, it might even be tonight. I will make sure that I don't leave if that's the case.
Cool. It's so brief, but it's great. But it's yeah.
All right. I don't know how I missed that. Crap. All right. I should have checked. I could have looked it up online before I left. Yeah,
Media Stinger is the app. Just look it up. We pull up Media Stinger before the movie starts and say, okay, guess we're staying to the end of this.
Is that also a website or is it just an app here? Let's see.
I think it's a website as well, and they turned it into an app.
Oh, there it is. Okay, so this has got extra scenes during and after the credits. Well, shit. Well, tonight then. But anyways, or whenever I see it.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
So we're done, and two things happen. One, I'm like, oh no, I got to get home for core. And two, I have to pee so bad because I had been drinking a ton of soda, and during the movie, I never felt the urge, not even once. But the minute those credits started rolling, my bladder went, okay, that's enough. And I went, oh, I got to pee. So,
sure.
So we left with my urgent pee, and we go out into the hall, and I go to this bathroom. Brand new place, beautiful place. Nice, what do they call the fake IMAX where I'm at? It's like XD or some fake name.
Sure.
And brand new bathroom, super clean, really nice. So we go in there, and I go to a stall. And while I'm at the stall, a guy comes up behind me to use the stall next to me. Now he's already not following those rules we talked about where you take the far left one or the far right one. Yep.
Second person takes the other.
Yep.
And then you space out either every other one. Yeah, absolutely.
I hold to that wholeheartedly without any reservation. That should be the rule. He did not follow this rule. It was just the two of us in this bathroom. Maybe a guy in the stall, I don't know, but at the moment there were just two of us. I was on this stall, and he decides to use the one right next to me.
How many urinals?
There are probably 8 on the wall.
Oh, wow.
That's what I mean. It's so stupid, dude.
Whoa, dude.
Like I'd rather pee in the sink than stand next to a guy.
If it were 3, I might say, well, okay, especially if the third one is the little child urinal that is 4 inches off the ground. But
yeah.
But if there are like 8, and he's not doing the far opposite end of where you're at. Oh.
Yeah, no, I didn't. It was just wrong. So I sat there going, well, I'm getting out of here as quick as I can. But then he proceeded to do something I didn't expect, and I still don't quite know what to make of this.
Okay.
He stops, and if I didn't stop to measure it, but it felt around 2.5 feet away from the urinal. Mm-hmm. So behind me.
Oh. Okay.
Not right behind me, but to my left and behind me.
Like basically further back from the stall, further back from the urinal than you're standing.
Correct.
So
I'm standing
2.5 feet away from the urinal itself.
Correct. And so he's actually out. There's the wall dividers.
Yes.
This one has those. And
he's beyond the wall.
He's beyond the wall divider. And he whips out Larry the Scarry there and starts to pee from about 2.5 feet away from this urinal. And I kind of glanced at him like peripheral vision to see like, what is this? Am I about to go down in here or something? And I look over at him. He's just stoically just like standing there, just peeing. And he's peeing past the breakers to the toilet, and he's hitting it. He's not missing or anything.
Sure.
But this dude is peeing 2.5 feet away from the urinal. What is that?
So, is he wearing light clothing?
No, he was just like in jeans and a button down. He looked like a normal dude. Jim Johns in the chat says he's a professional. I mean, maybe he thought he was. He seemed very.
Yeah, I mean that is. That is.
Isn't that weird?
No, that is weird, and that is unnecessary, and that's why they have those little plastic mesh things in the urinals that like deflect and prevent splashback.
Yeah. Oh, that's the whole. Yeah. See, that's the big takeaway here. It's not so much that I'm impressed you have good aim and you can be 2.5 feet away. It's that physics kick in and you're going to splash all over the place.
Yeah.
It may not be on me because there's a wall protecting me or whatever.
But still, it's like, he's causing some splashback. He's causing the splashback that he's trying to avoid, that if he just got close, there would be no. This is a guy who takes 4 minutes to back his Dodge Ram truck, back it into a parking space and hold up people who want to pass him because he's got to back his truck up.
Now that you say that 100% tracks. That feels like that is true.
Yeah, that is who he is, for sure.
Yeah, and I kind of wanted to say something like
we might have just lost a small sliver of a portion of our audience who drives Dodge Rams and takes 4 minutes to back their trucks up into.
I hope you guys are all much. Dodge. Listen, all our Dodge truck Ram owners, F-150s, 250s, all you people.
Yeah. Just
park like normal, and also
pull into a spot. Are you robbing a bank?
No,
you don't need to back into a spot. You don't need to make a quick getaway from Hobby Lobby. Okay?
Yeah. And I agree that you've got a big, cool truck that can carry a bunch of cement or whatever it is you need to be doing. That's great. I have no problem with your working man's plan. But just please, I just need to get into the Walmart, I don't
email us and let me know, and I'll take all the heat on this one, but email us and let me know why you do that. If you're a listener who's like, oh no, I always back my truck up into the space or my vehicle, let me know why you do that. Do you think is it saving? I know it saves you time on getting out, but is the time you save on getting out more than the time you spend getting in?
Yeah. Is it worth it in the end? Is it? I would also like to answer this question. So send us a message and let us know. Also, look, if you're going to stand that far back and pee,
yes, right.
I'd actually like you to say something. Like, I'd like that guy to go, don't mind me. I have a condition where something. Just tell me what you're doing. Sure. Otherwise, I am paralyzed with fear to say anything. My brain went, I wanted to go, whoa, like that. Mm-hmm. I didn't, but I wanted to verbalize it and say, whoa.
I would have. I don't know. I feel like I might have said something like,
yeah.
Like,
it's tempting, right? You want to say something.
Training for a new Olympic event there, buddy? Is this,
Yeah, what am I unaware? What is this a new, like, is this the hot new thing and I'm failing right now? Like, I want to know.
Here's the question, and I'm sorry. I'll describe this as non-graphically as I can. But when you shut off the garden hose, it doesn't stop immediately. The spring into the garden.
No, you gotta shake the.
There's a little bit of also there's like there's a cool down period, or not a cool down period, but a part where the water from the garden hose is coming out a lot slower and doesn't make it all the way to the lawn.
Yeah. There's no way that he was like, psst, and stop.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
So yeah, I agree with you. That's all a problem, and I'm sure something got on the floor or whatever. Maybe he had a special way. It didn't feel like it. Now, I'm not looking down or over because I don't want to be that guy either, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm just sort of like sitting there going, this is weird, this is weird, this is weird, this is weird. And then I stayed longer than I needed to because I wanted him to leave first. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So he did. He finished, suited up. I don't even know if he did the let's call it the Taylor Swift, the Shake It Off. I don't know if he did it.
Oh, okay, all right.
But if he didn't, I didn't notice. But he washed his hands, so props there. And then he got out of there, and I was like, all right, I'm getting out of here before I step in something I don't want to or whatever. It was weird. I didn't like it. Maybe he's watching this Wastelander movie, and he's thinking, they got maggot pits. What's wrong with me peeing 2.5, 3 feet away from the toilet?
Right. Yeah, who knows? Oh my god.
Oh, the maggot pits. Anyway, what else is going on? Oh, I had Brian, you had a dream about.
I had a dream. I had a Scott level. Like, this was. So my back has been giving me a little bit of a problem, so I took a muscle relaxant last night before bed, and that's what I'm blaming this thing on. But the part of the dream I remember, I was in a Cost Plus World Market. It's like a discount Pier 1.
Okay.
And I was looking at the, I guess Pier 1's not around anymore. And I was in the food section. I was looking at weird bottles of soda from different countries because that's what they sell at World Market.
Sure.
Weird candies and cookies and chips and chocolates and stuff. And a guy comes up and makes some comment about, they really come up with some weird stuff in here. And I look and I say, oh my God, you're Daniel Kaluuya. And I don't know, I have not thought about Daniel Kaluuya in a long time. Daniel Kaluuya.
Daniel Kaluuya, right? Hold on.
Yes, Daniel Kaluuya.
The actor from your Get Out and all that.
Right, exactly. And nope. And yeah, exactly. So I say, oh my God, you're Danny Clue. He's like, yeah. And I said, oh man, in my dream, I rattled off a bunch of movies that I know in real life he wasn't in, but he's like, yeah, thanks. It works in dream level.
Yeah.
And I guess I must have been in Hollywood or something. Cause then, a character actress, again, not like I've seen her in anything recently, and I don't even know her name, but apparently in the dream I did, but coming out of it, I don't know her name. She was like, oh, I love your stuff. You're great in such and such. So help me figure out this woman's name because I could not do it. She's I would say 40-year-old brunette actress, long hair.
Okay.
She has very, her eyes are very striking. I think maybe she even does the smoky eye thing. She has more of a nasal voice. She, I think she played somebody's talent agent, like somebody's booking agent, some sitcom character's booking agent. Very cluelessly though, not old older Joey's agent in Friends, but.
Not Frasier's, not Frasier's agent, that lady. Not her.
Oh, hold on a second. Let me see here.
She's pretty great as an agent.
Yeah.
No.
Not Baby Glazer or whatever.
Not
Harriet
her.
Sansom Harris. No, but
okay.
But kind of in that same vein. Who was Jerry's agent? Because it might have been Jerry Seinfeld's agent. On the show.
Well, that's not Diane Weiss. The mom from that 70s show is who Jerry.
Oh, yeah, no, Bunny, whatever her name was.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, okay.
Not.
Nope. Yeah, no.
I've had dreams like this. I hate these.
Deborah Jo Rupp. So this is I know this is a bad description. If I had to describe another actress, she kind of looks like Wendy Malick, but she has more pronounced. Darker eyes, and she, yeah, like that kind of nasally voice. It drove me nuts. And older than Jenny Slate. Not quite as nasal as Fran Drescher.
Oh, Wendy Malick. Okay, so
yeah.
that type, that
yes,
vibe.
That type with dark hair, long hair. Not Joan Cusack. She's character actress that you've seen in a bunch of things, but I cannot.
That's wild. That's wild though, because I've had dreams like this before too, where I'm sure it's a person I know, and then I just go forever without figuring it out. The chat's going crazy. Owen Wilson, come on, Tom Snorr.
I know, I like that. But Linda Fiorentino's a great guest. Maggie Wheeler's a great guest. No, not Janice. Not that again. Not quite that nasal. Anyway. It's going to come to me at some point, and I know not Jessica Walter, not Allison Janney. Anyway, so this is now the rest of the show. It's not. But anyway, started talking with her, and then I woke up, and I'm like, wow, why on earth have not thought about Daniel Kaluuya, this other actress who I haven't seen in other things.
Yeah, why would
plus world market any of those things?
Why them? Why that combo?
Why that combo? Yeah.
That's funky, dude. Yeah, I have dreams like that all the time. It takes muscle relaxers apparently for you to have those. So give Brian the drugs.
I know. I might have to take him again tonight, and maybe I can maybe I can get further in the dream. Yeah, not Scarlett Johansson, not Amy Pietz.
Juliette Lewis, Busy Phillips.
No, not Juliette Lewis, yeah.
People are getting the right vibe though. The ones that aren't completely goofing off, but the ones that are trying to nail it down, they're kind of in that vein of actor, like the kind of vibe that Busy Phillips puts off, or
yeah.
I don't know who Leah Rem. Oh no, I do know
Leah Remini from King of Queens. Not
right.
Her. Not Mindy Sterling from. Isn't it Sperling from Austin Powers? Somebody said Alan Tudyk's agent on Con Man was Mindy. Let's see. Not Mary Lynn Raskub from 24. I'd remember it was Zoe Deschanel, who has a new TV show called What Are We Eating, or What Am I Eating, or something like that.
Really? Like a reality thing, or a scripted thing?
Like a food. Yeah, like a food. Where does this food come from? Kind of thing. Jennifer Esposito. Let's see. Jennifer Esposito. Let's see here. Let's see if that's it.
Missing pile.
Oh, no, but definitely that vibe. Jeez, yeah. Jennifer Esposito.
I like Claire's post of missing pile instead of Missy Pile. That's fantastic.
Missing pile.
Yeah.
Not Lisa Stemple. Anyway, so.
All right. Well, welcome to the Weird Dream team. You know, you gotta have
driving me nuts. Yeah, it's going to drive me nuts. Layla Kenzie?
Our brains are pretty powerful. You may have created an actor. You know,
it's possible, but I mean, I can visualize her right now. Like I can imagine. I know I've seen her and stuff. It's not Judy Greer. Yeah.
So tonight, what you do? I don't know if this is possible. I've always heard about this. Like lucid dreamers, they can decide what they want to dream about before they go to sleep. So tonight, your goal is to try to do that. You know.
I think I can do that. I think I used to be able to do that. Like in high school, I had a girlfriend named Kim Butler, and she was all about the lucid dreaming. Like she basically said, "Oh yeah, well here's how you do it." And she's like, "Yeah, you think of some song, and then you, when you're in your dream, you hear that song, and that'll say, 'Oh, I must be dreaming.'" It's kind of like the spinning top in Inception kind of thing.
Yeah.
And anyway.
Well, I can't wait to find out the sequel to this film that we just heard about.
Yes, me neither. Exactly. Yeah. Yes, exactly.
We'll find out tomorrow, everybody. Brian, more things for you. We got something from Sippy in Virginia. And
Sippy? Yep. Excellent.
Sippy says this. What if he has a cup? Another Lyft/Uber input where Brian was talking about Everlance.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like a good program, but also wanted to suggest QuickBooks self-employed mileage tracking and Gridwise. I use both of those to track personal and business miles to get a good idea when doing taxes as to what my mileage should be for taxes at the end of every year. Also for Brian, is there a good way to clarify a previously requested song on the after submitting on the website form?
Oh, on the after submitting
the way he wrote it.
I know what he means. So yeah. So basically, he wants. So let's talk about. Well, I don't know if Sippy's he or she, but so I'll have to check out QuickBooks Self-Employed or Gridwise. But what Everlance does is it just basically records all of your movements away from your house.
Okay.
Whenever you have a movement away from your house, it records it. But it basically says, "Oh, you went on this trip on this time and this trip on this time." And so I was able to download that into a spreadsheet, isolate out anything that occurred while I was doing the show, or any time that I know that I lift at a certain time of day, and just isolate out all those things. So I don't know if Gridwise does that. I'll have to check that as well. So to clarify, a previously requested song if you submit a song on the website form and then you say, "Oh, I want to amend that," just enter it with the same date again, because basically I get a spreadsheet that I look at the beginning of every week. Or I have a spreadsheet that collects all these. I look at it at the beginning of every week and I pick out all the songs for the week. Usually on Mondays or Sundays. And I sort them, so I will see if there are two May 28th things from the same person. I'll say, "Oh, okay, so this just amends it, and this is a correction or a clarification."
Gotcha.
So that's how you do it. Just submit another one, but make sure it's got the same date for the date of request. And remember, the date of request is the date you want the song played, not if it's somebody's birthday, don't put May 28th, 1969, because I won't ever see that.
Yeah.
It only looks at current weeks, like it's sorted by year there. So
sure. And a reminder, though, to those at home, if you're trying to submit a song or request a song, not submit one, but request one, if you go to the frogpants.com/TMS, there's a link directly to it, and you just go fill it out. Pretty easy, pretty simple. Short form, too. I love a short form, man. It's a
super short form. Like, all we need is, what's the song you want to hear? What date would you like to hear it? Leave it blank if it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit to read on the air. Boom, done, get out.
100% in on that. I love it. Listen to what we're saying, corporations of America. Quit giving us 400-mile forms where you're collecting all our data. Give us something short and sweet and easy. I might be more loyal to you and your products. Brian, one more thing. This is about them ground bees, all those bees out there.
Ground bees.
This is Alan in Cottonwood Heights. I believe that is the Cottonwood Heights right here in Salt Lake City. I could be wrong, but I think so. Alan says, "Dear Buzz and Sting, my wife and I had a problem with wasps around the shed and in a cracked cinder block wall. We tried all sorts of chemical repellents, but all of them either didn't work or wore off quickly, and the buggers kept coming back. Now, and buggers in other parts of the world mean something nasty, so...
Getting buggered. Whole different thing.
Different thing. Anyway, it says, this year I read an article saying rosemary is a natural repellent. So we bought 2 little plants and stuck them in pots, almost read them pots, next to the offending areas. So far, knock on wood, no wasps. So again, this is rosemary. I'd never heard of that. I don't know if it will help with hornets, and I don't know the effect on bees. We don't have any flowers, so we weren't really worried about that. But I figured it might help. If it doesn't work, maybe try the ship's phasers. With affection for all the program that as it may be as that it. I'm going to do that again. With affection for the program, be that as it may. Alan in Cottonwood Heights. I'm going to try this because we're already the citronella fans here with the mosquitoes, and it works really well. So why not?
And rosemary has a terrific side effect that you cooking a steak, rub that rosemary on there, or put it in the bag if you're sous videing it, whatever. That rosemary is awesome for that sort of thing.
I agree. So, plus less bees. Although I'll bet if this does work on wasp, it probably does work on bees, and we kind of want the bees. The bees are out there doing work, you know.
Bees, you want the bees, but
and they never seem to make a hive. Why is it always hornets that make the hives near the house? I mean, like beehives. I never see beehives. I only see hornets in the ground, or hornets in the wall, or hornets or yellow jackets doing some dark, shady shit somewhere.
Yeah,
it's never bees.
I'm trying to think. I mean, I don't even know where there is a beehive, but I know that those mud wasps, there are specific places I know around the house where I'm like, all right, let's check there for a mud wasp nest. Let's check over here, like these woody eaves and things like that are the typical places that those guys collect. I haven't seen them yet this spring, so maybe they found a new place to move.
Yeah, maybe they got wind of the cicada outbreak and they're down south eating well.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
But I don't know. It'd be interesting. I think you're just supposed to grow the rosemary near where the ground wasps are hanging out. It's not going to stop the bees from coming to your flowers and pollinating and stuff like that.
Okay, that's good.
You should be fine. Yeah.
As long as that doesn't matter, that's fine.
Yeah.
Almost all bees don't make hives. Just 1 or 2 do, says Jim
Really?
Turn. Yeah, that's interesting.
That is interesting. So where do most of the bees live, if not in a hive?
I mean, those hives that beekeepers keep, those are hives, right?
Yeah.
And that's just an artificial place to put them, but they like them there.
That's right. And they build their own hexagons inside those man-made hives.
Yeah.
All right. Let's Bobby, here's another thing maybe for a future science.
Yeah, next week.
Bees and hives. Not all bees are not all beeves are hive makers. Beeves.
I don't like beeves.
Show.
Yeah. Somebody do it. I don't like beeves title. That's coming up. All right, time for the news. You've had a holiday weekend. You're all eating burgers yesterday. We had the day off. We all hope you had a really nice time. But now it's time to be informed. All right, so let's get that going right now, right here. It's the news, and it's brought to you by
The Maggot Pit, just outside the Citadel. We can heal all your severed body part needs.
Again, I don't want to spoil things, but let's just say there's some stuff. Let's just say that.
Yeah, all right.
Also, you know what? A lot of people were saying to me that they were worried there would be things in this new movie that would give me too many answers, like the theater of the mind would be broken a little.
Exactly. Doing what the first 2 minutes of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade did.
Yes,
answer every question about Indiana Jones in the space of one train ride.
Yeah, I hate that. And it is what it is. But people are like, "Well, are you worried that Furiosa will do this?" And there are some not explanations, but there's just some deeper knowledge about certain characters and, of course, where they came from and what they were doing and all this sort of thing. However, what was I going to say?
I like seeing locations that have been mentioned.
Oh, yeah, right. Like getting to see the bullet farm and the gas town up close. I mean, I'd seen those.
I didn't want to say anything specific, but yes.
I mean, that stuff's in the trailer. I don't think it's too crazy. But they those things, yes. So you get a little bit more of that, and that's all great. But one thing that it did do also was introduce some new things where my brain went crazy, and they gave me very little information. So I'm just going to say the name Octoboss, and that's not a spoiler about anything. It's just the name of a guy who I want to know all kinds of information about.
Yeah.
And they don't give you a ton, and that's fine because that's what these movies do best. So anyway.
I really wasn't expecting a Wolverine cameo, though, but it was really cool. Just so cool.
Yeah,
anyway.
It's very, very good. Whatnot says, how did everyone feel about the CGI? Well, what do you mean? Like every movie has a little CGI in it? There was a little bit in Fury Road. Is that what you mean? I mean, there's a ton of practical shit, and there's a few CGI things. I don't know what he means. I'm not saying he means he's being negative, but I didn't notice that much CG. It was like the first movie.
I did not notice it, other than just the stuff that George employs to make the cars, like zooming in on cars and grills and things like that. More noticeable.
They're talking about the face of a dead actor. I get it.
Oh, okay. All right,
yeah,
sure.
There's one guy who has passed away, and they did some CG to keep him in there. It worked for me. It was fine.
Gotcha.
The only reason you notice is because you know the guy's dead, and you go, oh, wait a minute. They had to fake that. Anyway, I loved it. Go see it. Let's go on to this news.
Yeah.
Around $500,000 worth of baby eels were seized at the Toronto Pearson Airport.
We talked about this because we talked about Elvers. Sorry, I just now saw this.
Oh, we did, didn't we?
Yeah.
Well, I can.
Oh shoot! I think we talked about the next one too. We did.
Did we? We did the garbage truck guy.
We did the garbage truck guy. Yeah.
See, this is what happens. I go an extra day away from TMS, and I forget what stories we've done. That's all right. We can jump straight to the slingshot guy then.
Yeah, let's jump to the slingshot guy. We got plenty of stuff here to talk about.
Serial slingshot shooter. That's a fun name, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, absolutely, yes.
It's from the Marvel Silver Age. The serial.
Serial, and really, he should be a serial senior slingshot shooter.
Yeah.
Really, if we're giving him a name.
Yeah, they screwed up here. This is a bad headline. He's 81 years old. He was arrested in California, according to police. 81-year-old slingshot shooter was arrested during a search warrant served Thursday after authorities determined he had been striking residents' windows, denting car windshields, and making close calls with several people in his Azusa neighborhood for a decade. Almost a decade long, he's been shooting this thing at people.
Wow. Now, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Denting car windshields?
Well, I think what they mean is like, yeah, that's a weird thing to say, isn't it? You don't dent them.
Denting is a weird choice of words because it's not like you can bend a car windshield without breaking it. So,
what is that about? That's weird.
Yeah.
I think what they mean is
chipping would be a better word there. BioCow.
Sure, chipping, cracking, anything but denting. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, the police department
just pop that thing right out. It'll just pop right out.
That's right. The Azusa Police Department launched an investigation after learning of the quality of life issue affecting residents in the 900th block of North Enid Avenue. This is in San Francisco suburb stuff, or LA, I guess, which is about 23 miles east of Los Angeles. During the course of 9 to 10 years, dozens of citizens have been victimized, police said in a recent interview. Authorities served the warrant to the residents of Prince King and found ball bearings and a slingshot in the property.
Oh, man, this guy's serious.
Ball bearings, dude. Those are hardcore. Those will definitely leave you a chip in your car. And you probably just drive on going, damn it, we got another chip, a rock flipped up or whatever, you know?
Yeah, and I understand, like, windshield glass has that stuff that the whatever it is, the tempering on it so that it'll crack severely before it actually shatters and separates, but then say crack.
Yeah, don't say dent. It's not dent because you can't pop out a dent. You can't. Dent is metal. Metal is dent.
Think of a dent as something that can be fixed, right? Like it's like you can temporarily dent something, but you can't unchip a windshield. Well, I guess you can fill it and melt it and all that stuff they do. But
I'll tell you what, calling this a dent in a windshield is like the Joker saying, "Where's Harvey Chip?" It'd be like that. We would be just as annoyed that he said, "Where's Harvey Chip?" because that's incorrect.
Yeah.
Harvey Chip. Moving on here. Let's see. No injuries have ever been reported, but they said he's just been bugging people for all this time. So that means he's been doing it since he was 70 years old.
Wow.
The Let's see. They discovered most of the ball bearings were launched from his backyard, while others were hurled from a nearby neighborhood. Hurled.
Hurled. So basically, he's like, where's my slingshot? Doesn't matter. I'm just gonna throw these ball bearings.
I'm gonna hurl them. It says this has been ongoing for many years, but we just didn't identify who the suspect was. Noting the reason for the vandalism or why certain people or properties were targeted remains unknown. It's just a big mystery. We're not aware of any kind of motive other than just malicious mischief, unquote. Oh, shit. Not good, man. Don't be doing that. I don't care how old you are. Also, how grumpy do you have to be 80s shooting ball bearings at cars?
Yeah, I mean, what is he? So he's just angry at everything.
Yeah. There are no things he's not angry at.
Yeah, it's not like he's targeting a specific thing. He's just like, cars.
Yeah, I hate these guys.
House windows. I hate glass.
Oh my gosh, there's like 8. I just did a quick news search on this guy. There are so many references to this news story. This took a lot of traction.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, it's just, I think it wouldn't if it wasn't for the age, right? I mean, the fact that he's 81 and doing this is probably what
yeah, you want to make the news.
What makes it a popular story is the fact that he's a senior slingshot serial shooter.
Yeah, when you're old, really old, and you do shit like this, you are an anomaly for sure.
Yeah.
They expect you just to be sitting in a chair and not do nothing.
Exactly.
Let's see here. Here's another story about a Texas megachurch.
Okay.
They were caught manipulating traffic data to get a new stoplight near the church. I'm sure.
Instead of just using the old standby, Jesus wants a traffic light here.
You should have. Yeah, that's what you should have said. Jesus came to me in the night last night and said, "Thou shalt erect a new light out front to slow traffic." It says Texas megachurch did this. They were caught doing this. Given the kind of church scandals we've seen over the years, it's always nice to see one so ridiculous, so absolutely unnecessary that you start to think the leaders just can't help themselves. That's what happened at Lake Point Church last week in Texas. Anybody knows what that is, let us know. The megachurch really wants the city to put up a traffic light near the south entrance to its Rockwall campus. Since it's clear for the benefit of the church, not the city, the church was planning to pay for the entire thing. This is not a church/state separation issue. There's also a selfish reason for the church to get that stoplight. Right now, before giving service, they have to pay officers to direct traffic. Getting a stoplight at a busy entrance would be cheaper for them over the long term, since they wouldn't need to rely on outside help. In either case, though, city leaders need to approve the request. And they would only do that if there was a steady stream of cars in the area. After all, why put up a traffic light and stop if it does, if it's not going to do the trick? Anyway, back and forth, left and right. Everything was by the book. Here's where it gets weird. This church wants a particular outcome. They're not going to rely on the truth when it comes to manipulating the truth in order to deceive people. It's what they do best, this guy says. This guy's clearly got an extra brain. Let's see. The church sent out an email to a small group of leaders asking them to have their memberships sign up for time slots to drive in that area. So basically paid people to drive around in there to make the...
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So this wasn't even like we got a hold of the date and we fudged it. We've created our own date. We've meat puppeted traffic.
Yeah. Here's their actual email. This is great. Each shift is a commitment to drive the prescribed route 10 times within that hour shift. It's great if you can make more than 10 laps within the hour, but laps are only counted toward that specific shift, says this email. They link to a signupgenius.com is how they got people involved. Yeah. Anyway, look, man, if you're gonna pretend to be like a church, don't. This is just like you ask yourself what you think Jesus would do, and I'm pretty sure he wouldn't give a shit about the freaking traffic thing. Just, you know what I mean?
It's funny. I know of a place down south on Hampton. There is a mega church down there, and I know that if I'm out lifting, sometimes I'll lift on a Sunday, and I'll be in that area in the afternoon or in the early afternoon, late morning, and there'll be cops directing traffic, really, like you said, just to let all the cars out of their parking lot, because it's such a busy road that people will get stuck there for a long time waiting for there's not a traffic light nearby on either side, so it's a fairly constant stream of traffic that's being filled in here.
Sure.
So I kind of get it, but I feel like a city planner should be able to look at this and say, oh yeah, we're there on Sundays. This is definitely a traffic need out here. It needs something.
Yeah. So put it in, do it the legit way. But if you're going to cheat it,
like go drive for an hour and make sure you go through this path 10 times in your hour shift. I love it. I think this is hilarious.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Jesus, what does it say? Trey 9008 says Jesus wouldn't have guided traffic. Oh, traffic he means?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Look, he wouldn't. The 11th commandment, thou shalt fudge numbers. There you go.
That's really good. Just get Moses out there to part the traffic.
That's his job. One final note here. There's a story about an old couple. We sold everything is the quote, meeting the retired couple who set sail on a 3.5-year cruise around the world. They sold everything to do this.
Wow.
This is their whole thing. It says they were from Sicily. They had a house and some property there. They sold their houses in the States, all their shit in Sicily, and now all they do is ride around on a cruise ship all the time. It should last them 3.5 years. Brian, would you do that? Would you sell everything just so you could cruise around on a cruise for 3.5 years?
No, because what then do you do when the 3.5 years is over? All you're left with is your suitcase and your the lei around your neck and some lovely photos on your phone. But then it's like, where do you go home to after that? Or what do you come home to? It's like, they knew that they were going to die in 3.5 years. I think it's a great way to go out.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Yeah. If you knew that, then why not?
Yeah, they actually had 3 people, this, Tanner, the boy who cried wolf, Trade 9008, all said, just jump off the boat at the end of the cruise and you're done. Like, basically, this is the way you go out. You you sell it all, you live up those last 3.5 years on that cruise, and then right before it pulls back into Port Lauderdale, you just hightail it off the Sausalito deck and you're done.
What's crazy is this, so there's some boats,
it's just the Lido deck, not the Sausalito.
Right.
You get salsa on the Lido deck, but it's not called the Sausalito.
No, and we don't mean spill it because Isaac is busy enough these days.
Yeah, don't spill the salsa on the Lido deck.
No, don't do it. Anyway, this place you can live there like it's your apartment. They'll let you do
if
this.
You're there for 3.5 years. Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
Some of these boats do. It looks like it's around $72,635 a year. That works out to about $6,000 a month. Now, affordable if you're used to paying that for your house, I suppose.
Does the little apartment have a kitchen in it, or are you still basically eating at the restaurants provided on the cruise? Which is, I'm sure, if it's like other cruises, it's go to any restaurant and or almost any restaurant on the cruise ship and it's free, or pay a little bit of an additional cost if it's one of the expensive restaurants.
So the room I'm looking at. Let me send you this link. The room I'm looking at looks like a typical room, but it does have a nice little deck. I think it's pretty small, though. I mean, it doesn't look like that big. So I don't think there's a kitchen in this.
They're kind of a young-looking retired couple. I mean, I understand that 55 looks like different things for different people, but they don't look like, well, let's just give it all up and go on a cruise for 3.5 years. This is like, all right, we're going to take 3.5 years off of my thriving.
Yeah, he looks like he could still be working. You're absolutely right. He's in his. They're in their 70s. They look like young 70s, I think. And they're good. They're in good shape. I think they just are like, we like cruises, so we're going to do this for 4 years. See ya. I don't know. I think I get tired of it.
There's the room. God, that's there's no kitchen in there. That is.
I couldn't do it for 3.5.
I couldn't live in that room. I couldn't have that room for 3.5 years.
I guess people are taking care of it. The whole cruise ship is basically your house. Like you just.
Yeah, that's true. And really, you leave that room and you come back and it looks like this again, like it's all cleaned up and bed made and stuff. But
I guess
I don't know. After a week, I've run out of the things to do on the cruise, right? It's like, oh, cool, we're going, let's go do the water slide or get in the pool or
plus they have notoriously bad internet on these ships. Like,
oh yeah,
I feel like the things I want to do, I can't do here. You know.
Yeah.
So if all they want to do is dance and have weird steak dinners and buffets and all that shit, then they've got, this is for you. Good job. Thumbs up.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're okay doing every Tuesday is pinochle in this room, and every Thursday is karaoke in the lounge, then I guess that's okay. But
I am surprised that you could do this for $6,000 a month. That seems relatively cheap.
For a month, for sure.
Yeah, that doesn't seem crazy. And if you had $75,000 just laying around, maybe you could just do it for fun. But I'd need better internet, something better.
Like you are stuck for 3.5 years with the same 800 people.
Oh, well, they'd be so this ship has some residents and then just the regular riffraff that come and does cruises.
Okay. It's the way it says it. This is the American-Italian couple who are in their 70s are soon going to be two of the roughly 800 passengers on a 3.5-year cruise.
Oh, they're all on the same cruise? Oh,
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know about that. That would be weird because you're going to end up having weird neighbors, people you meet, you think they're fine at first, and then later they're kind of psychopaths, and now you're on that boat 24/7 with these people. Oh.
So I'd also like to, here's what would make it kind of work better for me. I'd like to see the itinerary. 3.5 years, you should be able to hit like every continent, every most countries, most coastlines. That would be kind of cool to like spend a couple days in each place. Like, all right, I kind of wouldn't mind that. Getting off the boat every day to do something like that, I kind of would lean towards that. That would be good.
Yeah, and you could go if you could do that in shorter than 3.5 years, right? You could probably do that in a year. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know where this thing goes. Maybe it's only one. Oh, it says right here. Begins on May 30th. We'll visit 425 ports in 147 countries, all 7 continents.
Wow.
So there you go.
Okay. All right.
I'm convinced. Here's my $75,000 I don't have.
I'm liking a little bit more. It's Cruise Piercer.
Yeah, Cruise Piercer.
Cruise Piercer.
It's a sequel we never got that we all
right. I'd consider it. I think it's still for the money. Much rather get that my own little private island off of the coast of Ireland and live there and just get some decent satellite Wi-Fi there and
I bet that sounds more appealing to me. And I can go visit Dublin and stuff like that whenever I want.
Right. You're going to say visit Dumbledore.
Dumbledore. I'm going to visit Dumbledore there. He lives in, what's it called? Colt? What's the little town? I always hear about it. And it's not little, but the Irish town called Bunk?
Cork,
that's it.
Bunk. Bolt, Colt, Bunk.
Yep. I was absolutely on the right track there. All right, we're going to take a break. When we get back, Dan, the tabletop man, will be here. So for all you people who hate tabletop games, I guess get the F out. All right?
Yeah.
But for those who love this stuff, stick around. I also want to hear more about Brian's time with that Marvel or that Disney.
Lorcana. I was hoping to talk to Dan about Lorcana because I'm fully in.
Yeah, I want to talk about that stuff. So anyway, that's coming up after this break. Before that, Brian's got a song. What do you got?
Yeah, we're going to Dallas, Texas for this. This is a band called Moonstone, Moonstone, period. That's how they spell their name, Moonstone with a period at the end. Don't get it wrong. Okay. Don't confuse it with the other Moonstone that doesn't have a period. I don't know if there is one, but this is the first time I've heard a band genre described as energetic, dancey, sad pop.
Oh my gosh, that's really their description on the thing. That's crazy.
It's their description, like energetic, dancey, sad pop. It feels like a contradiction in terms there. Anyway, but I really like it. I don't feel like it's sad at all. I think it's really cool. It's like churches if they used more acoustic instruments. That's how I describe it.
All right. Well, now you've got me.
Now I've got you interested.
I'm piqued. Yeah.
They're going to be part of this thing called the So What Music Festival on June 1st. So you can go check them out there if you want to go check out that music festival. 5-piece band from Dallas. This is the new single from the band. It's called Figured Out. Here is Moonstone.
Low income 12 ahead. Mid income 14 ahead. Blue collar 17 ahead. White collar 10 points ahead.
Oh, very nice.
And we've returned. Who was that again?
That band is called Moonstone, period, with a brand new single called Figured Out from Dallas, Texas.
Very nice. Texas.
Yeah, they're good. They're really good.
My wife is driving right now. They're leaving Green River, Wyoming.
Oh, yes, the other Green River.
Yep, the other Green River. And they're heading toward, I guess, past the kind of Flaming Gorge area, and they're heading toward the Kansas northern route to Mississippi. I thought they were going to go down through New Mexico and all that. Mm-hmm. But they've decided to do I think a little piece of Colorado into Texas or into Kansas and then Nashville maybe and then down. I think that's how they're doing it. Yeah. And it's, I was going to say something about all that and I forgot. I asked her if there was sushi there for you. I asked about that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It turns out she couldn't find one. So we have to do our Green River in between us.
Well, Green River, Utah. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah,
there's a really good like a diner burger place in Green River, Wyoming that I stopped at on the way back from a Undertacular once. It was great.
Oh, that's good.
We were doing a caravan, like 5 cars all driving together. I think the Mayus were part of it, and a couple other people. And we stopped at in Green River, Wyoming, at a diner and got burgers, and they were great.
I think that was the 2010 run. I think
might have been.
Good Lord, that was a while ago. All right, let's welcome this dude to the thing. Where's his deal?
Here's a tangent for you. Be careful, may cause drowsiness.
Dan, the tabletop man, joins us as he does once a month to talk about the latest in tabletop gaming and sometimes, pharmaceutical bullshit,
Greetings, program.
Hey, man.
Hello.
What's up? How are you?
People just don't like board games or board game chat. Do they email you and be like, I don't, whatever you do.
I don't know if there's anybody who doesn't like the board game chat. I think
there are people who claim they don't, but I don't believe them.
Really?
Yeah.
I know we have somebody who doesn't like apps.
Yeah, some people don't like apps. Some people are like, oh, board games are boring. I've had people say, but they do this with everything. It's like,
yeah, I always say about with board games, people that say that they just don't like playing games, I just feel like they just haven't played the right game. Or haven't been introduced to board games in the right way.
Yeah, I agree.
People just look at board games and are like, I don't want to sit around playing Sorry. Well, neither do I.
Right. Find the game for you, and it's probably not Pop-O-Matic Trouble. Look for the thing that you
so
like.
I have the ultimate. I don't remember. I think it's either on Twitter or maybe it was on Reddit or something. There was always this thing where it's the "Am I the asshole?" like thread.
Oh,
yeah.
So I have one for you guys, and you have to tell me, am I the asshole here? So please. All right. So this past weekend, we went to this place. So there's a town nearby. It's called Cary. I live in Apex. It's Cary. And it's Cary, and they say it's the containment area of relocated Yankees. And it really is true. And it's kind of like my hometown over there almost.
And you don't mean former baseball MLB stars. You mean like Northerners is what you're saying.
No, yeah, exactly. Northerners. Because down here, everybody that's not from the South is just a Yankee. And if you're like me and you've been down here for 20-something years, I'm a damn Yankee is what they call it.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Been here longer than anything else.
All right.
All right, so there's this place in Cary. It's a nice little brewery area. It's called the West End. So there's 2 breweries. There's Vicious Fishes, and I think the other one is South End. But there's 2 breweries right next to each other. They have this covered area, nice little public area where people bring their dogs, kids hang out. It's just a nice little seating area. And you just go to both breweries. They're kind of like a really cool little area. So I'm sitting there. We're with another couple. My daughter's in town, for the summer, and so me, Janice, another couple, and we're sitting there, and there's dogs everywhere, kids everywhere, and I see this guy, and he's 4 people. It's three dudes and a woman, and they've got this golden retriever that looks like my old dog Meadow that passed away in 2018, and they've got like this husky mix. So they have, so I'm sitting there, I'm like, all right, you love animals, so I walk up to them, and I'm like, hey, can I pet your dog?
Yeah.
And the guy looks at me and says, no.
Whoa.
He just says no, and then he says, thank you. And that's it.
Really?
And I'm like, I walk back to my group, like I just shat my pants. Like I was just like, okay, like not an explanation. There's nothing on a dog. This is not like a police dog.
Right,
it's
not a service animal in training or something.
No, normally somebody would be like, no, I'm sorry, they're a little jumpy, or he's been known to bite people or something. You're in a public area with kids running around. And I saw them say no to a couple of moms. So it wasn't like the ugly Italian guy who may or may not be drunk, because I wasn't,
it wasn't like specifically, I don't want you to pet my dog.
Right. I wasn't stumbling over to them or anything else. Just the way he just looked up at me and just said, nope. I was like, oh my God, what?
Yeah.
What was the most bizarre thing? I'm scarred.
Obviously it's his prerogative to say, don't pet my dog, but still I'd be curious. Like, I'd love to know why.
Yeah. Why? Usually somebody would have a reason. They go, well, he's a little nippy with strangers, or he doesn't like this, or he's got a problem with, I don't know, something like that.
A skin condition or something.
It's like, yeah.
Usually there's the explanation after the no. Like, I have no problem with the no.
Just a flat out no. Like,
yes. And just looking at me like, I'm like, whoa, what just happened here?
I mean, I wouldn't feel good. I would be like you. I'd be like, well, shit, what is it me? Like I would wonder. Yeah. I would wonder what's going on. But I don't think you're the a-hole in this scenario. I think I'm not even saying, I'm not even sure he's the a-hole in this scenario. I think maybe the dog's the a-hole, maybe we don't know.
You really?
Yeah, I'm not saying he's the a-hole. It's the lack of explanation here is there's a social contract when you're a place that's just open to the public, and you're meeting new people. Dogs are playing with each other. Kids are playing with dogs.
Yeah,
mass hysteria.
All sorts of mayhem.
You need to. You should have followed up and kept at it and just said, "Can I pet that dog?"
Yeah, go full TikTok meme and.
I want to pet that dog.
Can I pet that dog? No. Can I pet that dog? Just keep going. Get louder.
Just keep going louder and louder. Yeah,
I love that.
I want to pet that dog. That's all. I mean, so like the whole rest of the night, I kept saying, like, I kept looking at my wife, and like anytime we see a dog, I'm like, I would just go, "Can I pet that dog?" And she'd go, "Nope." Nope.
I would. You know what I'd say? I'd say you can, but you may not. That's what I would say to people.
Oh, right. There you go.
Yeah, because you can. Technically, you can. You're capable of petting the dog, but you may not. It's like a teacher correcting you. That's what you should do.
Yeah. This is McGillicuddy.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing next time. Mrs. Phipps for me. She would say that. She would go. Now it's just like the movie. Or what movie was it? You can, but you may not. Was it Forrest Gump? Somebody had to pee, and she kept saying, "You can, but you." Oh, it's the movie Avalon. Watch Avalon; it's amazing.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, I had a teacher who did the exact same thing. She was obsessed with making sure I knew the difference between may and can. Obsessed with it. Right. And I'm like, Mrs. Phipps, I know the difference. I just say this because that's how people talk. I felt like she was making me sound like I was an illiterate fool. Like, no, it's just may or can. Switch it around. Who gives a giant shit?
Right. So they go, I hope you can.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right. Yes, you physically can, but you may not.
You may not. Right. Dan, let's get into board games because for those who love them, I see you have one here. Something with the weirdest name I've seen in years. Dabba Wala. What the hell is this?
Yep. So this is called Dabba Wala. This is going to be put out by Queen US, and actually, I think it's already out in Germany. So for those listeners that are out overseas, you're actually getting this before we are over here. But Queen Games is putting out a game called Dabba Wala. Now, so the history of this is it's a Mumbai Food Express. Now, I don't know if I'd love to hear if there's anybody in the tadpole that's from Mumbai and knows about. So apparently. These are basically a big food service thing where people every morning will go out like on bikes and different things like that and put out these, I think it's the Wallas or one of them, either the Dabba or the Wala. I think the Dabba is the thing and the Wala is
the Dabba. Yeah, the Wala is the person because Chai Wala, as we all learned from Slumdog Millionaire, the Chai Wala is a kid on a bike who delivers chai.
Oh, okay. Really?
Runs around, yeah. Like you kept calling Chai Wala.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And actually, it's funny. In the game, you can actually get chai, and I can get into that in a second too. So basically, in the game, it's a very, very light playing game, very easy to learn. There's two phases to the game. Now, you're delivering these dabbas, which are basically these cans of food. So basically, like lunches to people out there.
Yeah, look like circular bento boxes kind of thing. Like
exactly.
Yeah.
So you're so in the first part of the game, you're going throughout the city and you're getting these cards. Now you're going to have a little tableau in front of you, and they come with different ones. Basically, you just think of like a 3x3 grid, and you're putting polyominoes, which are basically the Tetris pieces. So as you're going out through the city, you're getting cards. On the top of them, they're going to have what piece you can put into your little, your little bike or your little tableau, and then the bottom is going to be just some numbers, and we'll get into that in the second half of the game. So as you're kind of going throughout, taking your turn, you're placing these. Basically these Tetris pieces in certain spots, and then you're stacking them up. So you're trying to make, get as best or more efficient amount of as many of these different dabbas on your on your little tableau, so you can sell them in the second part. So as you go, I think you get like 13 rounds in the first part, and you get 13 different chits, and you're putting them out there. And then the second part, you flip the board over. It's really innovative, kind of the way the board is, the way the whole box is set up, because the board is double-sided. One side's for the first half, the other side's for the second half. Then after the first 13 rounds, you now have like 13 cards in front of you, and then one round at a time, depending on who has the highest level of their tableau, then everybody's putting a card. That's how many rounds that you'll go. So you're playing the cards that'll have numbers on the bottom, and then as you're placing the cards down, that's going to be the price that you're selling. Each round, you're going to be selling a certain, you're going to be selling your level. So then as people place their cards out, the different dabbas are going to be worth different amounts of money, and that's basically your victory points, is your money. Now, as you're placing your chits in there, you're going to get different halves of a chai.
I see that the half, yeah. Oh god, that would make Tetris such a bit like a much more challenging game, as you have those to connect inside your Tetris.
Right. Well, and if you're getting different power ups from those different halves of them too. Yeah. So because the chais either give you other ways to cheat or maybe manipulate the score either up or down and things like that. So really cool. So, and by the time you're done with the second half of the game, basically you just add up all the score and that's it. So it's just one of these perfect games. I don't want to necessarily, but I'm going to call it a Johnson game because you can learn it in 10 seconds and you just want to play it again.
Yeah, it looks pretty straightforward.
It's so easy to play.
Yeah, because I hate them rules. So give me an easy game. That's what I want.
Well, you don't want to be sitting there for hours and hours on end. You're kind of a guy who wants to get in and get out.
Yeah, I just want to play. It's like John put this really well on Core one night. He says, I play games, video games and board games the way I go to an arcade. And it's true. I go to an arcade, I survey the place, and I go, I'm in the mood for that for a minute. And now I'm in the mood for that. So I may have 2,000 games on Steam. Guess how many of those are finished? Very low amount. Very small. You probably counted on two hands total over the last 20 years, however long we've had Steam. So, like I do approach things like that. And that's kind of what's fun about, like our TMS Vegas board game stuff is really fun because you can kind of dip in and dip out and find something that's just sort of fun real quick. And then
play one of this. Oh, that looks like fun. Let me jump in, play that, and then get out. Yeah, for sure.
I like that stuff.
In board game publishers, so some different, and Queen is kind of noted for having bad inserts in the past. And what they've done with this game is they've taken this weird kind of, I guess it's paper craft in a way, but it's like cardboard craft. So you're kind of putting together, and you can probably see it in the pictures, where you actually put together these little storage things, and then the game board itself actually slides on top of the storage solution so that it keeps all the chits in place. So you don't even need plastic baggies. You just have all the cardboard things in there. And even the cards come in its own little thing. And it fits in the box perfectly. I was just absolutely amazed. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass to put together, I'll be honest. Like when you're putting it together, like like when you're trying to force two pieces of cardboard,
yeah, sure.
And so, but then once you get it together, you're like, oh, that's great. Yeah. Because it's just really amazing how it fits together.
Nice.
It's really cool.
That looks great. These German games, man, they know what's up. They know how to make games.
And this one should be out over here in the next month or two. I think it's only like $40 or $50. Should be out by July in the U.S. But if you're overseas, you can pick it up now. So I was really pleasantly surprised at it. They had sent me a German version, so I actually had to print out my own rules for it, so to get a preview of it. But it
didn't want to hold your Google Translate camera up to it the whole time and figure out what it's saying.
Yeah, that's a good point. Real quick here, if we have any German listeners, I've always been curious about this. Why is it, do you think your home country has such a reputation for strong board game presence? Like, why are you the mecca of board gaming? What do you think that is? Is it a cultural thing? Is it that's crazy.
I think it's a lot of the designers too. So I mean, what do you guys think of? I mean, Brian, you'll probably get this. What created the modern explosion of board games? What game created that?
Settlers of Catan, probably.
Absolutely. And Klaus Teuberg, who I believe is German, that's where a lot of the main Euro designers are, and I think that's
a good guess.
That's not a real Klaus Teuberg is the inventor of games.
Well, it's Teuber. It's spelled Teuber, but it sounds like toy.
But I'm pretty sure that's Catan's. Yeah.
When did he make this?
They made up for the
He made Catan back in. Oh my gosh, that guy was originally a dental technician. That's amazing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, wow. And he went on to make some amazing games.
Rainer Knizia is the other main. The man who's probably the good Dr. Knizia, who I don't know if he was a medical doctor, but he might have been a medical doctor, and he's probably made more board games than anybody alive right now. He's made that many titles and so many games that you've played. You don't realize they're a Knizia, but it's just an amazing designer as well.
Tiber, however you say it. Toiber. He died just last year. That's sad.
Yep.
Yeah. Probably had more in him, you know.
Hopefully he was buried in a little hexagon with sheep tokens.
Yep. And his big cement headstone is like a meeple, like a little meeple guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm trying to remember who made Carcassonne, because that's where you first get the meeple. So Toiber is probably buried in a big thing with a lot of wood and sheep. You know.
Oh yeah, good point.
Are those sheeple?
Those are sheeple.
The sheeple. Yeah, probably a sheeple.
Carcassonne was who made that's German also, right?
French.
Yep.
French.
The name is French, isn't it?
The name is French, but I think it's
Let's
see.
Be a German game. Yeah.
Let's see. Carcassonne. I can't find it. But the Germans, man, look at them.
Yeah.
You know, they had kind of
Germans.
they had a rough late 18th, early 19th century, and then they were like, you know what? We're going to be really good at two things: board games and disturbing pornography. Those are their two claims to fame. And then what's their name? The band, Du Hostmeisch. Them. They're really into that.
Yeah.
Good job.
Right. So Carcassonne, I think, it takes place in southern France, the southern France landscape, and it was Klaus Jürgen Red is who it says made Carcassonne from BGG, and but that's pretty much the game that was the first one that had meeples in it.
That's crazy.
I
didn't know you could trace it back to that. That's nuts. I mean, the stuff that when we were playing like Stratego in the 80s, I guess those weren't meeples. Those were like little.
No, but it feels like it's just. Is it just that shape? Because I feel like I had games in the 70s I played that had little representations of people without any sort of distinguishing marks other than the pedestrian shape.
Yeah.
You know, I'd have to do a deep dive. Maybe before the next one, I'll do a deep dive on a meeple and give you, everything. Yeah. Or maybe they're the first ones to call it a meeple, and that's why like everything is simple.
Yeah. I don't know.
Technically, a chess pawn is a meeple.
Yeah. Maybe
all of your chess pieces are meeple.
Maybe meeple means something in German. Is meeple a German? It's not a German word, is it? This is meant to be like people.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was meant to be something people like
mini people or
my people.
Oh, my people, mini people, micro people. I like all these. All these are good.
Yeah.
Okay, it says right here. I just found something. Usually within a stylized human form, they are made from wood. Okay. Let's see. The word is contraction of my people. So you're right.
Okay.
Meeples are more anthropomorphized than pawns. Pawns is what they used to call. Okay, so the stuff in Stratego they called pawns. Let's see. They're believed to be introduced in the 1984 game Top Secret Spies. And then Carcassonne, published by Hans and Gluck, has been credited with popularizing them, but they technically showed up in something called Top Secret Spies. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, look at this old game. That's cool. It's also German, though, so take that.
I know in the newer versions of the Bible, Moses says, "Let meeple go."
Yeah, let me. He meant to say, "Let me people go."
Let me people. Let my people go. But he said, "Let meeple go."
Yeah. Anyway,
so Brian, you're all in on Lorcana.
I am all in on Lorcana. I picked up Raven CTG in the chat. I didn't know she actually owned or owned. She has a gaming store.
Oh, that's cool.
Very
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
And she and her husband Josh sent me a ton of their extra Lorcana cards, including a couple like the two of the three pre-made starter decks. So Tina and I have been playing that, and I decided to go out this last week and pick up the Ursula's the Illumineers quest thing.
Yep, that's a brand new one too. That's a really good one.
And I got the last one that they had at my comic store that I go to. So totally digging this thing. And what's great about that Ursula's deal is that you can play it like if Tina doesn't want to play sometime or I want to play it on my own, you can do it as a one man against
you can play
Ursula.
It solo. Yeah, it's the first one they put out. It's like either co-op or solo as well.
Yeah.
Boy, is that game so good. I want to pick that one up because I want to be able to play it solo because I play a lot. I played this one with my daughter. Lauren, and we play a bunch of the Lorcana sets. We've played some of the first set, which was really hard to get at the time, and then some of the second set that came out right before the Ursula one. The first set's pretty good. It has a little bit of a draw problem. Now, I don't know if you may not have noticed this when you were playing that the first set, Now, the biggest thing is like as you're playing, you can put things out for resources and then you're playing cards. And then basically you just get one card a turn. So the biggest problem with the first set is that you just get into this point where you're just top decking everything. And it's not really as much fun.
Yeah.
And then the second set has a lot more things that basically you have a lot more draw to it. So it's like
cards in.
So a lot of the interactions or a lot of the people that you play out there, it'll be like, well, when you play this, draw a card, or when this is defeated, draw a card. So there's a lot more way to get draw, so that it really helps to. It's not quite as bad as the top decking, which feels bad.
Yeah. By the way, quick correction. I'm sorry. Raven works at a board game publisher, Chip Theory Games, not at a game store. So quick correction.
And Chip Theory Games they make Too Many Bones, and they've got the Elder Scrolls game coming out. I met Raven I met Raven a long time ago, and I really apologize. I'm so bad with names and faces. But I do remember, we spoke. So I'm really looking forward to, I love meeting people from the community, that you don't get to see all the time. So that's always a ton of fun as well. But Chip Theory Games is an amazing company. They do their stuff. Like if you ever, Scott, you would never last half a game of Too Many Bones, but it's
too many rules, too many bones,
too many rules.
But no, it is a great game. It's one of my favorite games. The production value they have, and again, it's called Chip Theory Games for a reason. They have all these amazing chips, and I don't want to call everything they do like the word overproduced sounds bad, but it's in a good way. Like I have the collector's edition of Too Many Bones, and it's got these play mats, like these neoprene mats, and you have a ton of dice, a ton of chips, like people's life as chips. I know you can tell that sound like I'm a crack because I'm explaining this game so much because it's such a fun game, Too Many Bones, and it really they had Hippolomachus was I think their first game, and it used these chips, and then they put out Too Many Bones, and the company just exploded. So they've got a lot of really cool things that they've been putting out, and I'm really looking forward to when they do have that Elder Scrolls game
me too.
coming out. And they do have a really cool solo game. I think it's called 20 Strong. I think it has to do with like how many dice
Raven is talking about. Yeah, 20 Strong. Yep.
Oh man, it's really fun. It's a real fun solo game. So like guys like us, Brian, you got to love the solo games, and that's a really fun. And I love dice and stuff like that. So
I found a new dice. Too much
time playing with myself.
I found a new dice game on Steam that I'm probably going to recommend to you, Dan. If I got to play a little bit more, it's definitely a more complicated take on like Dicey Dungeons. Did you ever play that? Probably you did.
No, I have not played that one yet.
They're both good. Dicey Dungeons is amazing, but it's very simple sort of to get into. This one is a little bit more complicated. It's a cyberpunky thing, and I forgot the name of the damn thing, but I'll play it a little bit more, and then we'll see if it's up your alley or not.
And this is a quick one. I won't spend any time on this, but I want you to check this out. So write this down, Johnson. It's $5.99, and it's way better than it has any right to be. It's called Circadian Dice.
I have that. I haven't played it yet, though. Is it good?
Yeah, it's awesome. Like it's just simple, addictive fun where you're basically the whole idea about it is you're just going on they have all sorts of these different adventures. They're basically like 8-wave adventures, and you're changing the faces of your dice.
Yeah.
And that's how you're upgrading. As you're leveling up, you're getting more dice, but you're also constantly changing the faces of your dice to basically advance how you're playing. It's so much
very
fun.
Similar to, it's like the dice version of Baltoro or Balatro or whatever.
Exactly.
A little bit, yeah. No, I own this and just have not cracked it. I don't know why I didn't. I probably bought it because I went, that's cheap and it has dice, because I love the combo of cheap and dice. So I need to grab it. I'm gonna right now. In fact, I'm adding it to my thing. Yeah,
quite addictive to it because it's like you start off with just the one character, and as you're going, you're advancing, and you're unlocking other characters, unlocking cool other things for your dice to use, and you get in this really cool gameplay loop. And it's quick and easy to play. It doesn't take a whole lot.
Also reviewed really well, 94% on Steam.
Windows only, unfortunately, even though it looks like it. Should be Mackable.
Yeah, they ought to do that.
Too. I mean,
actually, app would be perfect. Yeah,
be good on the iPad, eventually. The iPod.
Yeah.
So here's the funny thing about Dan. He never remembers names, but he remembers words like this.
Alkane Thiol.
You know what I'm saying? Like all your weird medical names. You remember all that shit.
Oh yeah.
What's up with that? Let me play it again.
Alkane Thiol.
Do you know what that is?
No.
It may not be medicine. Let's see what it is. Oh, it's a various form of, it's a variation of a hydrocarbon polymer containing sulfur. So that's not something you want to put in your veins.
No, don't do that.
No.
I was trying.
It's funny because you get all these different wacky names that you see all day long when you're at work, especially in pharmacy, between all these new injectables and everything else, and all the old these diabetes names and knowing what goes together, what the generic name is of a brand, and it's just after 20-something years, 25 years, you kind of it's second nature. But when you talk to somebody that doesn't see it every day, like my buddy will ask me, or you guys will ask me about should I use this or that, and then you start rattling off 15 things, and they're like, well, how could you remember that? I'm like, well, you're an engineer. How do you remember any of your stuff? You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
That.
Are you going to watch that South Park Ozempic thing they're doing? They're doing a whole...
Yes, somebody was just telling me about it, and I saw the memes. I thought they were basically referring to something they talked about years ago because, bitching about healthcare has been something we've been doing for 20 years. So, I mean, or even longer than that. So I figured it was something that was old, but I definitely want to see it because, the Ozempic is in between Wegovy, Ozempic, and all these other GLP-1s and SGLT2s and DPP-4s. I'm like, you see all that stuff all day long with this.
Yeah, they're going to give it to Cartman, I guess, is the story. I don't know. I haven't seen much else other than the teaser. Brian, you were about to say something.
Oh, yeah, I just wanted to show Dan this box, this Lorcana 3D printed box I made. So no paint or anything. That is done with levels of filament. So
oh, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so like you can't really tell, but like when you're 3D printing, you pause the print, change out the filament. And if you've designed things with layers, then you can do multiple colors with 3D printing. Just pause the print, change out the filament, and then it does the next thing.
Oh, I wondered about that. So it knows when it hits the finish of the previous layer and when you got to start. It knows that.
Yeah, exactly. It knows it. Some 3D print slicers will actually do it for you and let you enter a G code that pauses the print, lets you change out the filament, and then you just hit play again. But the one I use for the Anycubic Mega doesn't know it, so I have to just keep an eye on when it gets to layer 12. It's like, cool, layer 12, pause. Then I go and I change the filament, and then
that's awesome.
And then put the new colors.
Yeah, and you even got a space for the space for the cards and space for some tips and stuff.
Space for the
20-sided dice when you're playing it.
Oh, that's great. Exactly. That's great. Man,
even the logo's even separated, so like it separates on that little point.
Do you think if Disney saw these things that people make, do you think they're like, oh shit, we should sell that, we should make one of those? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like
possibly,
3D printers are gonna get the scoop on.
I know
cool
that
stuff.
They've come out with their own kyber crystal holders that aren't nearly as good as the ones I designed. So I feel like Disney, Disney. Let's talk. If you want a kyber crystal holder that looks good, let's talk, and I'll
Brian's
sell
got your
my
back.
designs.
Yeah, I'm sure Disney will jump on that.
Sure, totally. They totally. Yeah.
Well, Dan, this has been a pleasure, as my dad would have always said, having you on here. And may all your meeples look like cookies. That's what I like about meeples. They look edible. Dan's
not medicine. All the pieces in these games look like medicine. You got to keep them away from small children.
That's right. Keep them away from kids. Tell us where we can find more of you, what your show's about, all that stuff.
So you can find me at GeekJockDan on Twitter, or because I refuse to call it the other name, it's always Twitter to me. Yep. So you can find me at GeekJockDan. You can find me on the Geek All Stars podcast. We just did a really good, I know we discussed this probably in Discord we did a really cool draft about perfect albums, which have zero skippable tracks in it. So check that out. And we obviously talk about board games, card games, TV, movies, a little bit, everything else. And I just put out a Munchkin Lands, did a Munchkin Minute over on the Major Spoilers for this week, for the beginning of the month. So go check that out over on the Major Spoilers network. And of course, thanks for having me on, and look forward to talking to you guys again soon.
Yeah, may all your Ozempics be good. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'll see you later. Real quick, Brian, I had a weird glitch happen last night I thought I'd share with you.
Oh, cool, yeah.
Check this business out. I was on the show, thanks to 9 of 12 and a few others for sending me some clips.
A Monday show?
Yeah, we were trying to do pick a title for the show, and this happened. Fun violence, unviolence, 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 unviolence. And that went on for a really long time.
So that's what the audience
That's what the audience heard. Yeah, and we didn't hear it. It didn't come through monitor. It didn't come through Carter's headphones. We couldn't hear it, but everybody else is going, dude, you guys are on fire. And I noticed my waveform is going, and
weird.
So it was very weird. So I found a solution. I fixed it in real time. Didn't have to stop the stream. Everything went fine. So all I'm saying is this, people. If this comes up again, just say it once or twice in the chat. I have a way to fix it.
I take it. Yeah, you had a wall of people telling you.
There was a lot.
Yeah,
there was a lot, and also just, I mean, I don't know what caused it. I think it was a recent patch for something. I think it's on. I think it's loopback, but I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
Anyway, that's not the kind of loopback I paid for right there.
No, that's come on, Rogue Amoeba.
We have a quick the voicemail to play.
Okay, all right.
Before we get out of here, this is somebody calling about what we make them do. Okay.
Okay.
I'll leave it at that. Here we go.
Hey, Beep and Scream. This is David from Philly, a.k.a. a really hoopy fruit in the chat. My fiance and I just realized that you've classically trained us like Pavlov's dog to respond to a beep with a scream. Anyway, love the show, though.
Yeah.
Ah!
He did one at the end. I like this.
Honk. Oh!
Or like, or whatever. Apparently, some people, they walk away with our memes and they become part of their life, you know, in a memingful way.
That's right. Oh. By the way, I had my key fob in my pocket, and it was in the garage. I was working on the Galactus painting, and bumped up against the edge of my work desk, and it hit the lock or the emergency button on my key fob.
Oh no!
And all of a sudden, my car goes out, starts honking, and I swear to God, it went beep, and I went ah! And it wasn't because of the meme. It was because it scared the shit out of me.
But you thought about it. You thought about it immediately, right? Like you heard it.
I did. I immediately thought about, it was just like the meme. Too bad I wasn't recording that.
That's amazing. Well, we love to hear how our stupid shit here makes your life different, everybody. So send us those voicemails. That's right. If you want to leave us a voicemail, you can. 801-471-0462. That also doubles as a text line. So feel free to use that anytime you like. And if you like to email us.
Wyke.
I came up with Wyke. This bodes well for reading the titles today. We'll see.
Should be great.
Yeah.
Should be no problem whatsoever.
But if you like that and or you like emails, what I'm trying to say, you can send us an email, themorningstream@gmail.com. That's going to do it for us. Brian, let's play a song and get out of here. What do you got?
Sure. Hey, we got a birthday, and I didn't see him in the chat room, but maybe he's here. Jay Funktastic wrote in, said, hey, Cyclops and Beast. I'll be turning the rope age of 47 on May 28th. I guess the site's the first thing to go.
Ooh.
And would love nothing, but turning 47, that's the important part. Would love nothing more than to hear a cover of something from the 80s, and I leave the choice up to the cover master himself. You both have kept me inspired and laughing since episode 1. I think he means of this show and not Star Wars. And I hope you know how much I love and respect you both. And this entire community of wonderful human beings. I'm sorry I couldn't be at TMS Vegas this year, but I will be there next year if I have to crawl on my knees to make it.
Jeez.
Brian, next time you come to New Orleans, I will show you and Tina how to properly eat crawfish like pros. There's a science to it. Fantastic.
He's right.
I feel like I don't get when I after I tear off the tail and I suck the head, I feel like I'm just getting vapors from sucking the head. So yeah, definitely need to know how to do it better. Cheers, guys! Love the snow globe. Jay Funktastic. P.S. Can I get a honk and Scott scream for my birthday? Thanks.
Yes, and you can also get one of these.
Happy birthday!
Because you're 47, dude. All right. Secondly, one of these, and then just like we just played. Where'd it go? Here it is.
Honk.
No, wrong one. There it is.
PPS or PSS. All of you are wrong. No self-respecting Southerner likes Tabasco. It's the Nickelback of hot sauces. Cajun Chef brand for the win. Agreed. Tabasco is 90% heat and 10% flavor, and I like a good balance of both. So.
It's just hot water, really.
It is just hot water. Exactly. Yeah. You can shake that bottle for hours, and it's still just thinned out. It's not
great.
Good.
No, there's so many alternatives. If you get started there, fine, but move on to something better pretty quick, Oh, yeah. I got some of that crunchy chili oil that you recommended.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't get that brand. I got whatever Carter got at a Asian market. Anyway, it's the crunchy whatever.
Crunchy garlic.
Put that on a hot dog yesterday. Dude.
Oh.
Dude. It was so good.
It is so good. I like somebody like Tonda Gossett just said in chat. I put that on everything. Like it is. So I made eggs this morning, and I basically just put a wad of it in the bottom of the pan and spread it around. It's chili oil, so you don't need to use any other oil to cook the eggs, and made the whole house smell amazing. It was so good.
No, it's so good. I can't remember where Carter got it, but it's so good, and I'm I can't wait to eat something else with it on it. So I'm
Make some
converted.
eggs. Make some weird eggs with it. It's
All right,
great.
maybe weird eggs. We have to film
Maybe
some
weird eggs.
cooking this week. Maybe I'll do weird eggs. We'll see.
There you go. Yeah, do weird eggs. All
Anyway.
right, cool. So he wanted a request of something 80s, a cover of a song from the 80s. So last week, I'm so excited about this. Last week, an album came out called Everyone's Getting Involved. It's a tribute to the Talking Heads Stop Making Sense movie, the one that was directed by Jonathan Demme. One of I consider to be, I'm just going to say it, it's the greatest concert film ever made.
Oh
I would put
gosh.
The Band's Last Waltz second, but I would put Stop Making Sense number one because it's so good.
Damn. All right.
If you have not seen it, put it on while you're working or while you're doing something, or just sit and watch it because it is a feast for the eyes and the ears. Anyway, so the second ever Talking Heads tribute came out, first one being the one that I released several years ago, and it included this cover by a band called Bad Bad Not Good. It's a cover of This Must Be the Place, Naive Melody, and it is the Talking Heads. Here's Bad Bad Not Good.
Oh, shit. Sorry, my button didn't work. See you tomorrow.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Yes. Get more at frogpants.com.
Basically the worst parts of the Bible.
Oh, all right.
That's right.
Billy Bob Thornton.